No, 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 stop it! Stop it! Jungkook yelled when he saw the bus going away at a distance. He panted, resting his hand on his knees, bowing down slightly. When is the next bus for Banton High School? Jungkook asked a man beside him.
It is going to arrive after 20 minutes, kid.
The man said, looking something on his phone. Jungkook gave a small smile to that man before looking at the road in front of him. Congratulations, Jungkook Jeon. You're going to be late on your first day of high school. Jungkook sighed, holding himself internally, waiting for another bus. Wyan sat on the back seat of her expensive car. She sighed, putting on the seatbelt. She took out her phone, scrolling YouTube. Start the car, Uncle 𝐃𝐿. Wyan said with a small smile. Sure, Miss Kim, the driver said, and Wyan sighed sadly, because the driver didn't call her Wyan, even though Wyan had told him many times not to call her Miss. She rested her head against the car's window, closing her eyes, because nobody actually cares. Wyan opened her eyes when she felt the car wasn't moving anymore. Wyan, did we reach? Wyan yawned, looking around. No, Miss Wyan, we are stuck in a traffic. You sleep for a while. I'll wake you up once we reach the Bangton High School, the driver said, and Wyan nodded her head. Wyan was about to close her eyes, but she saw Jungkook standing at the corner of the road with few other people. Wyan grinned, waving her hand cutely when she saw Jungkook looking at her, but she pouted when Jungkook looked away from her. Maybe he didn't see me properly, Wyan thought. John Jungkook! Wyan yelled out loud and waving both of her hands cutely. How can I stop loving her when she is this adorable? No, Jungkook, get a grip on yourself. You need to forget this beauty. Jungkook thought, looking away from Wyan, making her frown. Uncle, wait for 5 minutes, Wyan said, getting out of her car, running towards Jungkook with a big smile. What are you doing here? Wyan asked, looking at Jungkook.
He is waiting for a plane in a bus station.
A random man teased Wyan, making her eyes roll. You must be thinking that I am dumb, Jungkook, but let me tell you that this is my first time here. I've never been to a bus station before. Wyan giggled cutely. Jungkook couldn't help but stare at Wyan's beautiful eyes. Wyan was so into talking with Jungkook that she didn't notice that she slowly stepped back on the road. Jungkook's eyes widened in horror as he saw a bus coming towards Wyan, who was still laughing and clapping her hands, oblivious to the danger, giggling at her own joke. Jungkook yelled, pulling Wyan towards himself by grabbing her hand. Jungkook mumbled, "Thank God you're safe." Wyan leaned into Jungkook's embrace, her heart still pounding in her chest. She couldn't believe that she had just been almost hit by a bus. Thank you, Jungkook. Wyan smiled, pulling herself back. Jungkook was in a great dilemma. His mind was telling him not to talk with Wyan, otherwise he would get badly hurt. But his heart was telling him to talk with Wyan, even though he knew that he was going to get badly hurt in the end. Jungkook knew that his love for Wyan was forbidden. Wyan was from a wealthy and powerful family, and Jungkook was just a helper. There was a huge gap between them, and Jungkook knew that he could never bridge that gap. But Jungkook also knew that he couldn't just ignore his feelings for Wyan. He loves Wyan more than anything in the world. In the end, Jungkook decided to listen to his heart. He knew that he might get hurt, but he was willing to take the risk. So when your bus is going to come? Wyan asked, looking around. After 10 minutes, I guess, Jungkook said, scratching at the back of his neck. Jungkook, our school starts in 5 minutes. Wayan said, widening her eyes. Yes, you need to go, Wayan, otherwise you will get late. Jungkook said, and Wayan smiled because Jungkook was the first person who called her by her name, the one who actually considered Wayan's words. No, you're gonna come with me, Wayan said before Jungkook could protest. Wayan grabbed Jungkook's wrist, running towards her car, which was parked in the corner of the road. Wayan opened the car door for Jungkook, and Jungkook gave her a small bow before getting inside. Wayan ran to the other side of the car and got in. Jungkook looked around in amusement, never having imagined that one day he would be sitting in a luxurious car. The car was spacious and comfortable, with plush leather seats and soft carpeting. The dashboard was sleek and modern, with all the latest technology. Jungkook couldn't help but feel a little overwhelmed. One day I'm gonna buy a car for my mom. Jungkook smiled, looking at his lap. Put on the seatbelt, Jungkook, Wayan said, putting on the seatbelt, leaning back against her seat. Jungkook nodded his head, holding the seatbelt. He bit his lip, pulling the seatbelt, not having any idea how to put on this thing. He snaked himself inside the belt. Jungkook frowned his eyebrows when he tightened the seatbelt around his torso, almost making him breathless. Wayan bit her lower lip, preventing herself from laughing after looking at Jungkook's mini circus. Jungkook's eyes watered a bit because of the tightness around his body. He pulled out his tongue, breathing through his mouth. Jungkook, you're funny. Come on, let me help you. Wayan laughed her heart out, her laughter echoing throughout the car. Jungkook smiled shyly in embarrassment. He couldn't help but laugh a little. Jungkook felt his heart was going to burst when Wayan put her legs on the other sides of Jungkook's lap, fastening the seatbelt properly on Jungkook, and finally Jungkook could breathe properly. Jungkook's heart pounded in his chest. Jungkook was so close to Wayan that he could have reached out and touched her, but he didn't. He was too afraid of ruining the moment. You're funny. Wayan flicked Jungkook's forehead, softly pinching his cheek. You're beautiful, Jungkook blurted out loud, making Wayan giggle cutely. Are you flirting with me, mister? Wayan laughed, playfully grabbing Jungkook's collar, making Jungkook laugh out loud at Wayan's cuteness. Suddenly, the driver pulled the brakes. Wayan opened her eyes slowly when she felt something soft against her lips. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, his love said cutely. It's okay, Jungkook said. But it wasn't okay. Jungkook's heart was still racing, and he could feel his face burning up. He had never been kissed before, and now he had been kissed by the love of his dreams. You know, Jungkook, I saw a K-drama called Business Proposal yesterday, and the second hero, his name is 𝐃𝐄𝐿. I guess he looks exactly like you, Wayan said, changing the topic quickly. Really? Jungkook asked. He noticed his love's flustered state, but he didn't say anything, not wanting to make his love uncomfortable, asking about the accidental kiss. Wait, let me show you his picture, Wayan said, taking her phone from her Gucci bag, showing the actor's photo to Jungkook. See, he looks like you, Wayan giggled cutely. Yeah, kind of, Jungkook said, looking at the photo. You know, he looked so innocent, just like you in the starting episodes. But when he kissed that heroine... Wayan stopped her sentence, looking at Jungkook. She noticed Jungkook's face turning red. Jungkook was probably thinking about the kiss they had shared a few minutes ago. Wayan felt her own cheeks flush. Wayan gulped. She didn't know what to say. She didn't want to embarrass Jungkook, so she started to talk again. It is a very popular drama in Netflix. You should watch that if you have time, Wayan said, looking away from Jungkook. I don't have Netflix, Jungkook said. Oh, it is okay. We both can watch the drama one day together. Wayan smiled, forgetting what she said a few minutes back. Miss Wayan, we reached your school, the driver said, stopping the car in front of the high school. Both of them got down from their car, walking towards their school. They widened their eyes in shock when they saw the school's watchman closing the main gate. "Jungkook, we are going to get late," Wyan panicked, looking at the gate. They both sprinted towards the main gate. "Wyan is going to be late because of me," Jungkook thought sadly, running with Wyan. He did what came into his mind first. He grabbed Wyan's waist and put her on his shoulder. He rested his right hand on Wyan's hip and circled his other arm around Wyan's knees. Then he started running towards the main gate.